Hello everyone, welcome to Superweapons of War. Today's episode will be on the Entwicklung, or E, series of tanks, a revolutionary design group meant to revitalize the German armored corps in the final stages of World War II. The beginnings. In the final weeks of World War II, the German army wanted to make a new line of tanks, basing it off of the Panther and Tiger tanks with a few others in between. They wanted to make a new line that could be easily manufactured and replace the existing tanks of the Wehrmacht. They were cheaper, more efficient, and better than the other tanks of their class. These tanks eventually came to 5 designs: the E-10 and E-25 tank destroyers, the E-50 and E-75 medium-heavy tanks, and the E-100 super-heavy tank. These tanks were never completed, only in blueprints and mock-ups. The E-10 and E-25. The E-10 and E-25 were planned tank destroyers for the Wehrmacht, trying to make efficient tank killers to stop the newest Allied designs. The E-10 was designed to replace the Jagdpanzer 38T, or the Hetzer, armored destroyer. It featured a new suspension, engine, and weapon to fight the Allies. The E-25 was a replacement for the Jagdpanzer 3 and 4 assault guns, trying to balance speed and agility with raw firepower. This also had derivatives, such as the Waffenträger, which was an attempt to make a super-heavy tank destroyer similar to the Jagdtiger. These tanks were designed around the sole purpose to take out the new M26 Pershing and IS-3 heavy tanks of the Allied forces, but these designs never came to be other than blueprints, although they are featured in games such as World of Tanks. The E-50. The E-50 was a mix of the Panzerkampfwagen 7 Königstiger, or the King Tiger, and the Panzer V Panther tank. It featured heavy armor with a King Tiger hull and a revitalized Panther turret, and some potential designs for more firepower and armor. It was supposed to be a super fast tank with the newest Maybach engine, a super futuristic engine reaching 60 kilometers an hour. The hull was fully drawn out, but the ideas never came to fruition, neither confirming or denying the Panther turret, although it was believed to either have the Panther turret with the original 75mm gun or a new one with the 10.5cm KWK gun, though there were no official designs drawn up. The E-75. The E-75 was a complete upgrade on the King Tiger, using the same turret with an advanced hull and thicker armor, and a much more powerful engine. This was going to be the same production line as the E-50, sharing the same hull and many parts, making them easier to produce. They were going to be equipped with the new 88mm cannon, supposedly one of the most powerful that ever came into existence, although the designs were never finalized. It was supposed to come with advanced infrared lighting, which was to be the first night vision equipment ever standard on a tank. The E-100. The E-100 was a super heavy tank designed in the early 1940s to compete against the Tiger Maus and the Maus prototypes, but abandoned in favor of the Porsche Maus. The E-100 tank had a better engine and all-around better capability with a lower weight amount than the Maus. The design was only completed with the hull, however, and very little footage is surviving. Only one video of the E-100 was ever taken and survived to this day. It was captured by the British Army and taken back to England when it was tested on and eventually scrapped in 1951. Service life. The E-series was never built, other than the mock-up of the E-100, and it commonly resides in games such as World Tanks and War Thunder. Even though they were never made, they still are in such common forums, as many people talk about them to this day as superweapons that would have changed the war. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Superweapons of War, an interesting realization of the German ministry that could have changed the war for the Axis, a superweapon that might have even won the war for the Axis, but with stubborn leaders could not do what they needed.